Hey friends, it's Kelly. Thanks for joining me. I am back again with a new layout for the Cut Shop. And this month, the Cut Shop design team members are teaming up with creative scrappers. So my layout is going to be based off of this sketch, and I am going to be using the Heart Eyes cut file. I do have a short Cricut Design Space tutorial to start. So I already have the Heart Eyes cut file on the design screen, and I am going to slice out the image that says all the heart eyes. I'm then going to go ahead and set my canvas to scrapbook layout by using the set canvas feature on the left hand side. I've now inserted a heart shape, and I'm going to work on slicing out the center of that heart. I just want the outline of the heart image. So I'm just going to take a little time and use the slice feature to remove a portion of it, and then I'm going to come in with the contour feature and just get rid of any pieces that are floating in the center of the heart. Once I'm finished using the contour feature, I'm going to go back to the slice feature. I'm going to insert another heart and just keep working on this until I get pretty much all of those extra little pieces removed. I'm not overly concerned with making this perfect. I can clean up any little tabbed edges or anything that's left behind with my scissors after this is cut, but I do want to get it as close as I possibly can. Okay, so once that is finished, I'm going to go ahead and delete all the extras from the right hand side of the screen, and I'm going to copy and paste this outline image a few times. You may have noticed in the sketch that there is a grouping of 3 different clusters, so that's what I'm going to be using the hearts for on my layout. So I'm just working on resizing them so they fit in the areas on the layout that resemble the sketch. Now I've inserted a square on the design screen, and that is going to resemble the photo that I will be using on the layout. I'm going to resize it to 3.5 by 3.5 because that's roughly the size of the photo that I will be using. That will just help me get the sizes of the hearts proportioned correctly if I have an idea of how large my photo will be. Now those 2 hearts on the bottom, I will eventually weld those together, but I don't like to weld my images together until right before I am ready to send them to the cutting mat. And the reason for that is there is no unweld option. So if I am designing on the design screen and I've welded those images together and come to find out that I need to change the size of one of those hearts, I can't just unweld it. I have to keep clicking the undo button until I get back to that part of the design where I had initially welded them together to make those changes. So what I do instead is I either group or attach those 2 images together. That way I can resize them together and they'll stay in one place on the design screen, and I can kind of work with them as one unit. And then right before I'm ready to send them to the cutting mat, I'll go back over to the edit tab and click weld. Now I do want to cut these 3 images on 3 different pattern papers, so I need to make sure that all of the images are different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and select the heart that has the sentiment and just change it to a different color. It doesn't really matter what color it is as long as they are all different. Now all of these images are less than 6 inches, but because the cutting surface on the cutting mat is set to 11.5 by 11.5, it can make it a little tricky if you're trying to use a 6 by 6 paper to cut, because you have to get it almost right on spot because these images are very close to 6 inches. So if I don't have the paper positioned absolutely correct and in the right spot, then it's going to go off the edge of the paper. So I just move the images down to on the grid screen on those lines to where I can see exactly where I need to put the corner of my paper. Now this image is a little bit wider than 6 inches, but if I rotate it on the design screen, then I can still fit it on a 6 by 6 paper. I just made sure to count the grid lines each time I positioned one of the images to make sure that it would fit on the 6 by 6 paper. And then I made sure to count the grid lines on my cutting mat so I knew that I positioned the paper exactly where it needed to go, so these images would cut just like I wanted them. Okay, so here you can see the cut images, and they are all cut on a different pattern paper from the Amy Tangerine On a Whim collection. I just took a pencil there to lightly trace where the hearts are going to be positioned on the layout because I am going to do a little bit of mixed media. I've grabbed my favorite shimmer spray. It is the Shimmer's No Yoking Colorings, and I'm just going to use the packaging technique, and I just want to make sure that the color goes in the general area that the hearts are going to be adhered. So that's why I did a little bit of a tracing, so that way I knew that the mixed media and the color was going exactly where I needed it to be. You're going to see me continually bring the cut file images back onto the white cardstock just to check to make sure that I am getting the coverage that I want in those areas. And this is the photo that I'm going to be scrapbooking today. As I am finishing that mixed media on the background, I'll just give you a little bit of information about the photo. It's such a cute photo. I absolutely love it. It's actually a screenshot that I took of a post that my niece posted on Instagram. And that's actually why I have a little bit of washi over that one corner of the photo, because it does have her Instagram name on there and I wanted to keep that private. But I absolutely love this photo. She has it captioned, "We only do this on Mondays." And I thought that that was a great part to include on the layout because it does kind of tie into the journaling for the photo. My mom picks up my nieces and my son on Mondays, and my niece snapped this in the car on the way home from school. And I thought it was just a great documentation of what's happening in their life right now with my mom picking them up. And, you know, Snapchat's super popular right now. And that's actually one thing that I don't have. I don't have Snapchat, but I love the filters. I think they're so cute. And I just really like this photo. You can tell that they're just having a lot of fun, and it just shows the friendship that they have with each other. So I knew that I wanted to scrapbook it, and I'm so glad that I took a screenshot of it. Okay, so while I was rambling on, I did add a couple more things to the layout. I grabbed a couple of the ephemera pieces from the Amy Tangerine On a Whim collection to add as layering pieces behind the photo. And then I added that chipboard banner piece to that bottom heart, and it says "You are pretty great," and that is included in the chipboard sticker sheet from that same On a Whim collection. Now I'm going to grab a pink foiled heart from that same ephemera pack, and I'm going to add it in as another layer behind the photo. I was just punching out all the little negative pieces within that flower, and I'm still deciding that I need to add a little bit more mixed media, so I just grabbed that same shimmer spray and just applying the color with the packaging technique just a little bit more, still just trying to get the coverage that I want. Now, once I get the mixed media coverage that I am looking for, I'm going to go ahead and adhere the photo cluster together. That way I can move it as one unit instead of having to pick all the pieces up each time I want to move it around on the layout. So I just use liquid adhesive to adhere down just the photo and then just that flower. Now, I don't know if you can tell on the screen, but that paper that says all the heart eyes actually has little emoji faces on it, and they go across the paper in a rainbow order. And I actually have an emoji stamp set, and I thought about trying to add some stamping to the layout, but I just couldn't really find a place to put it or a way to make it fit. So I decided not to go with that idea. And at this point, I'm pretty happy with how the layout is coming together. I know this is going to be my general design. I'm happy with the mixed media coverage that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and just get those hearts adhered down to the background. And then I'm going to come in with some hand stitching. And by the magic of YouTube, the hand stitching is now complete. You can see that I stitched around all of the hearts. And then all the heart eyes pattern paper, I followed that same rainbow order and just stitched in multiple colors. And I did all the hand stitching off camera. It is rather time consuming and really boring to watch. And we actually went out of town. We went to dinner one night. So I brought the project with me in the car and just stitched during the car ride, help pass the time and get the project completed a little bit faster. So now I'm coming in with a little bit more embellishing. I've added a couple stickers to the photo. One says "Best Day Ever" and the other one says "High Five." Those are from the Simple Stories Posh collection. Now I am pulling in some more stickers from the Amy Tangerine On a Whim collection, and I'm going to add this pink foiled heart. It matches the foiled heart on the opposite side of the photo, and I had already glued my photo down to the layout, and I was having a hard time getting the photo to lift to get the flower underneath. So I just cut the flower down so that way I could kind of just tuck it without having to pull the whole photo off the layout. And now I'm going to move down to those bottom hearts to start working on the embellishing. I'm going to bring in another die cut piece, and that's actually where I'm going to put my journaling. I think about adding this blue flower, but I don't end up using it. I end up putting it back onto the sticker sheet. And now I've grabbed the Amy Tangerine On a Whim sticker book, and I pulled off this blue camera, and it is see-through. And when I applied it to the background page, when the blue went on top of the yellow, it turned into a green color, and I didn't really like how it looked. So I'm just going to apply that camera sticker to some white cardstock and then just fussy cut it out and use it more as a die cut piece than as a sticker. And I'm going to flip through that sticker book a little bit more to see if I can find anything else, but I'm pretty happy with how that embellishment cluster is looking in that bottom right hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering everything down. I do use liquid adhesive to reinforce that chipboard piece. It is sticky on the back, but I've just found over time that they tend to lose their stickiness and end up in the bottom of a page protector. So I just like to reinforce all of those elements with liquid adhesive just to make sure that they stay in place. So I still feel like it's missing something and that I need to add more. So I flip back through the sticker book and I find a gold heart, and I think that I want to add it to the layout. So I actually add it to some fun foam to make it almost like a a puffy sticker, but after I get it fussy cut out, I didn't really like how it looked. So I end up peeling it back off the fun foam and just keeping it off to the side, and I'll use it again on a future project. Now I'm going to come back in with some more of these black stickers from the Simple Stories Posh collection. I've added a few hearts, and I've also added another one of the stickers to the right of the photo. And this is another sticker sheet from the same collection, and I'm just going to fill in that heart there. I felt like it looked a little bare, especially since the heart that's right next to it, that where they're welded together, was full of embellishing. I felt like I needed to fill in this heart a little bit more also. So I'm testing a couple things out, and I ended up deciding to go with the word hello. I do add a few hot pink Heidi Swapp color shine splatters to the layout and my journaling, and that pretty much wraps it up. I brought the sketch back in so that way you can take a look at the sketch and my layout side by side, and I'm really happy with how this layout turned out. It's fun and colorful, and I feel like it fits the theme of the photo really well. So I'm just going to finish the video out with a few more still shots. Remember to head over to the Cut Shop to check out all the cut files. I do have more information on how you can play along with this month's sketch on my blog. There is a link in the description below to my blog also, so just head over there and check it out. We would love to see what you create using the hashtags for this month's sketch. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again soon.